Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Abe, your cruise director here, and right now I am up on the bridge of the Anthem of the Seas with our fantastic captain, Captain Klaus. How are you today?
Thank you. Feeling much better today than yesterday, I must say.
So am I. My goodness. You know, one of the things that when it comes to adverse weather conditions in this particular company, this is not the first time that a cruise ship has gotten stuck into a bad weather situation. And one of the things that we've always found over the years is the most important thing we can do is keep all of you informed every step of the way. And I hope we've been able to appreciate that we've been trying to get you as much information as we can, as quickly as we can, as up to date as we can. And this is a video that we'd like to do, and the captain asked me to come up here to the bridge so we can give you the most up-to-date information when it comes to the weather, where we were, and also where we're going as we have changed course, and obviously making sure that everybody is comfortable on the way around. So, Captain, let's talk about where we're at and what we're doing.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to thank all the guests for their consideration and the patience in the situation that we were in, and I'd also like to thank the crew members for their fantastic job yesterday. It was amazing. I have to say that I've been with the company for 17 years, and I have 5 years in Alaska. And Alaska has a lot to offer when it comes to weather. I have been doing the entire South America. I have several seasons in Australia and New Zealand, and Vanuatu Islands, as well as in Europe. I've been sailing through storms and around the Horn and so on before, but what we experienced yesterday, that was something very special. I honestly have not seen low pressure that was not forecasted anything near what we actually experienced. When we at 6:30 in the morning yesterday, I came up here to the bridge and sat down with some of the team members that had done the weather predictions, and we looked at everything. And we did a small alteration, as I told you on the noon speech, that, or actually at 10 o'clock speech, a noon speech, it became a 10 o'clock speech. Then we went a little bit further to the west to give a little bit more room to that low pressure that was developing, of respect for this area where we are. But we were supposed to just have around 4 or 5 meters with seas, which is at 12-15 feet, where for this vessel, well, it's very doable, and 40-50 knots wind, which that was what we were supposed to have, and that was at 6:30 in the morning. I talked to you at 10, so then and everything was nice and dandy. And I remember that I came off the phone with the Miami office at 1 o'clock. I walked onto the bridge as the wind started to pick up, and I said, you know, wow, there's some lashes of wind here that we stronger than what it was forecasted, quite a bit stronger, and it just didn't stop. It was just like it just started to boil around us, and just.
It developed so
quickly, and that is the special thing, you know, that it just became so intensified. In 1, 8, 9 hours, it goes from being nothing to a full-blown storm, and this is what you see it is at the moment. This pink that you have in here, that was a little bit further down here. The whole thing was not bigger than this, and was up here, and it just exploded. And we are not that many hours after, we're just 24 hours actually. So in 24 hours, it has moved from being this to what you see here. It's
Mother Nature. It is.
I'm telling you that it's a weird storm that we experienced, but the ship handled it very well. I must say, very well. Yes, it was uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, very scary for many, not only our guests, but also our crew members that had not experienced this before. I have had severe weather before, but not to this extent, this extreme, sudden thing that you had that we had to deal with there. So there was a lot of thoughts going around, but you know, for the professional team that was on board, I'm extremely grateful for the ability to keep the heads calm, do what they're supposed to do, keep on with the job, making sure things are being done safely, whatever they're doing, ensuring that they look into possibilities that may happen and so on in case we encounter this and this and this. So the team worked very, very nicely, and I thank all the guests again for listening and go back to the staterooms. For those that were sitting in the lounges that felt more comfortable there, thank you for sitting put there, because if you had roamed around the vessel, well, a sudden move can harm people, you know.
Yeah.
Something can come loose, and we saw that. We had stuff that flew around, and if we went to the outside of the ship, the strongest winds that we had was 150, 160 knots of wind. That is 170, 180 miles an hour wind on the outer deck.
Mm-hmm.
So for everyone that goes around today to have a look at it, they can see that the wind has made some damages to the vessel, some impact there. We have some of our satellite domes the covers was broken, and so on. So it's and on board the vessel that we had movement. So we have some hot plants that broke, and of course that looks extremely bad when you see that just all over the place. It's so with all in all, I'm very pleased with the ship and its condition. Very nice and safe ship. It's less than a year old, and now this is the third storm that I had this ship in. I took this ship from the yard. I brought it into service. I took it over to New York when we came over with it, and now I'm back on board again after a nice holiday. And of course now I got to learn this one. So now I have to say that I am comfortable with this ship. I can take the ship anywhere at any given time. Now this is now we know exactly what this ship is made of, so to speak, if you can use those terms. So,
what's kind of interesting is, you know, you talk about the big potted plant that rolled over, that crashed, and then there's soil. Essentially, it is there. First and foremost, this is a cruise ship that is built for marine operation, and to be able to perform and to be able to withstand these types of weather conditions, and obviously that was proven last night and yesterday and so on and so forth. And then there's the marine operations, which is what the ship is designed for. And then there's the pretty hotel operation stuff, right? And those are when, obviously, there's certain parts of the ship that would never be on a cargo ship or a military vessel or anything like that. It's just there to make it pretty. And those are the things that are not necessarily built for the marine life, if you will. And we saw that yesterday. So if there's, things that, tipped over and things like that, it looks a lot worse than it is. But when it comes to the actual sheer safety of the ship and the actual sheer the way that this ship performs, that there was never a question.
No, there was never a question. An exceptional ship. Mm-hmm. Very uncomfortable situation to be in. Mm-hmm. Let's not try to
emulate that in the future.
No. It was extremely uncomfortable for absolutely every single one, and me as the captain responsible for the entire operation on board and the safety of everyone on board the vessel. Mm-hmm. Of course, I felt every single moment yesterday. You are always on my mind, and that's the safety, the comfort of the guest and the crew and the vessel. That's paramount to whatever we do. Everything else is secondary, and that is what I like to talk about now, because now we talk about that we have actually made a decision to turn the vessel around and go back to Bayonne. We have to remember that this cruise was going to Orlando, we were going to Nassau, and we were going to Coco Cay. This storm put us behind schedule, so one of the ports will have to be cancelled anyway, so to speak. As sad as it is, that is the reality. So we looked into Port Canaveral, Orlando, and when we looked at that, then we saw that there's actually another low pressure that's going to come from the inland, and it's going to come over here, and then this little cove over Jacksonville, it's starting to develop another low. and that low is being fueled by this massive center here. So that can be very, very strong as well. And as I said on the speeches, that I don't want to take you through another uncomfortable situation with this ship. Now we have been in a very uncomfortable situation with the ship. We have proven it to be safe but very uncomfortable. And there is no need for us to go through and to add on to that and make guests and crew that's already been scared or been in fear for the last 24 hours or 18 hours to have that manifested again.
Yeah.
And by going in with this, it will also affect the Bahamas Islands that's down here. I know you're looking at Nassau, that is notorious for strong winds in the morning and lashing winds coming through. And then you have Coco Cay, which is sitting out here, up here. That is, if we have bad weather, well, it is a small, sandy, beautiful island that we have, but it's also very affected by bad weather.
Yeah, and for those of you who've never been there, it's actually a tendering port where we cannot dock the ship. We actually have to bring the ship with these little boats that run back and forth. And if the weather is we would have been able to.
No, but it's absolutely beautiful, beautiful place.
It is, yeah.
But taking the weather situation into account, the comfort of all our guests, and what happened aboard the vessel, that they like to have sorted going into the future, it will just be the right thing to do, to return to New York and say that I'm sorry, this cruise did not work out. We are refunding you for the cruise. We're giving you 50% future cruise credit. So yeah, that's for that. And as well, instead of if some wanted to leave, but some will opt to leave when the ship goes back into port, having to fly home instead of being delivered at your doorstep again. This was also one of the decision-making conditions there. So back to the weather situation as we are. This is how it is at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So an hour ago, this is the latest that we got in. So you can see it's a very, you see we are sitting here at the moment, and we will be sailing up to New York.
Captain, are these the weather conditions when we see like Doppler radar, winds and cloud, or is this the wave conditions and wave heights?
This is the moment we are looking at wind, we're looking at the frontal system, and we're looking at the wave heights.
Okay.
And then we have precipitation here.
Okay.
So, and these, the red lines that you have here, they are isobars. And the red ones, they are for cold fronts or low pressures. And the blue one and the black ones, they are high pressures. The closer these isobars are together, the more wind we will have.
Okay.
Now this is also colorized to help us. So this pink was in here yesterday, very intensified pink, much actually sharper than this. But this is where we have most wind at the moment. It's moving out here. So you can see the front is here, and it's one here. So there you have the cold front, here you have a warm front, and you can see it's just moving up in this direction. We like to take benefit from the void space behind, and as this system goes to the northeast, this nice area will help us all the way along. So if we jump 6 hours ahead,
okay, yeah,
you can see that this is now moving out. It's freeing our route, and we will take advantage of the Gulf Stream as it comes up. We will further sail up the coast, and you will see that we are here. But now you see something happen to us here. This is the low pressure that I talked about. Let's go back one. Let's go back one here.
So this is where we essentially be getting into.
This is where you see the snow here, the rain here, and you see this little thing here that is not little, but it's coming through here, and it comes over here, and there's kind of a vortex here. This is where this one starts to develop, and you can see the wind picks up to around 30, 35 miles an hour wind at this area, and you can see the cold front. So the low pressure is here, and there's a huge low pressure up here that is coming down to hell. So us sailing south towards Port Canaveral, we would have been in this area when this one develops, and then we're looking, and let me see, there we go. Yeah. This is just before midnight today. It's already like this. So here you're looking at around 40, 50. So you're looking at a storm here. And it's already starting to be a storm. Well, we were sitting yesterday after we had finished before we turned the vessel around. That was when we had storm force winds. But this is the beginning. So you can see how quickly it developed that strong wind.
Yeah, that's a 6-hour block.
Exactly. Yeah. So, being where we are, been through what we have gone through, knowing that this one will develop quickly, I don't feel comfortable to compromise the comfort of our guests and crew again by something that's going to explode and be stronger than actually what it is. And then it's better to take care of this void and sail back home to Bayonne all the way. As you can see here, it still develops and it comes up, and we will be sailing.
Yeah, if you could just keep us in the blue, that would be great.
That is what we will do. We will go a little bit closer to the coast. We will make sure that we sail nicely all the way up to Bayonne.
Wow.
That is what. But you can see this thing merge, and it's just a big center, which Europe can just sit and wait for, because it's going to end up over there, give them another winter storm on that side. So basically, that is what it is. What we're talking about. I don't know if you like to, if we like to move over to another screen, so then I can show you from Madonna system, just quickly, maybe a little bit more colorful. And to explain how that system outside Jacksonville is actually developing, and how we can see the area where we will be sailing is actually clearing up a little bit.
For sure. We'll be right back just after this. All right, we went ahead and reshifted. We have another new fancy map here, Captain. What are we looking at now?
You know, it's another mapping system that's out there for the mariners to use, and this is a system that is very popular among the professional yachting.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So it's from my days in Alaska and in South America and Australia and New Zealand, I find it's very accurate. Very accurate. It's a good one. Here you can see the system that we have just been dealing with or dealt with. What I wanted to show you here is how that is growing but become weaker and are starting to move. And here you can see this is later today, that this is now starting to form here.
Yeah.
Here we have this late this evening. This is tomorrow morning, or actually our midnight. And there you have tomorrow morning. And if you look at what's going to develop during the day, you see the red is just growing, that's intensifying. Yeah. And this is the area where we are sailing. This is the area where we want to go, just through here. So this does not look too good, and you can see it starts to spin here as well. So there is a possibility that this can be much stronger than what it's actually anticipated to be. And so for the comfort of everyone, I think we are doing the right thing to set the courses back home again. So we lick our wounds, so to speak, and we can prepare ourselves for another beautiful cruise, which cruising is all about. You know?
Absolutely.
It's not about encounter bad weather and have bad experiences. We want you to have a good experience, and that's why we go back home, and that's also why we were funding you everything, and that's why we give you the 50% future cruise credit as well, to make sure that we can bring you on board. We want to keep our relationship with you. We want to really make sure that you feel that this was a once-off experience and that you can come back to us and have a very nice and good cruise experience.
Absolutely. Well, folks, Captain doesn't know that I'm going to say this next, but I spent 6 or 7 hours up here on the bridge with you all yesterday, and I've never personally experienced something like this in my 13 years with this company. And to see the calmness in you and your entire bridge team put a bit more calmness on me. And I really wish that you all could have been a fly on the wall to see, because with the waves and the motion and the wind, it wasn't anything crazy. It was just simply you taking control and calling out the commands, and everybody had a job. Everybody had a job to do, and they did it well. From the commands that you had to the, just everything, charting and speaking back and forth, and how much power's here, speaking with the engineers, speaking with the bridge team, speaking with, the Coast Guard was in contact every hour, the Miami offices were in contact. It was crazy. I mean, it was, for lack of a better term, it was crazy to me. And my wife is on board, my mother's on board, my aunt and uncle are on board, and to have them on board and going through this whole situation, I felt so much more comfortable just seeing the operation firsthand. And I know obviously that's something that we are never going to broadcast and show in the staterooms, like, hey, look at what's going on up on the bridge. But I have to say, Captain, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for everything that you did. Thank you to everyone, and I'll see you all out and about during the rest of the day and also tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
We will continue keeping you updated if anything further develops. My entertainment team is programming a lot of entertainment activities. We're going to keep you all busy over the next couple of days and really make the most of the situation that we're in. Go out and enjoy our time here on board the Anthem of the Seas. And once again, Captain, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers.